we get this amazing. So I used to stare at these covers when I was younger because I couldn't fathom how any of this could be done by a human hand. AKA Padders, join me today. We're going to explain a little bit where Zack Snyder is coming from when he says Batman should kill or can kill. Now, that's mischaracterized. That's a misquote. But a lot of you out there, you're repeating it. This is Batman, Son of the Demon. I want to showcase something in this book to all of you. And if you're not familiar with this graphic novel, this changed the continuity of the one Dark Knight. Let's go. AKA Padders, Peter ain't to look at here, AKA Pad 69, and say with me, known throughout Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the vast multiverse, is your eclectic one. Guys, real quick, I apologize for last night's live stream where I tried to add to this NWO sketchbook, and I had the idea of being able to render everything on black pages, and it was literally so frustrating. I'm debating on taking it down or only making it available on akapad.com. We will be bringing back Turtle Soup Thursday tonight. That's where I draw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters. Aren't used round pizza circles, and we have some catching up to do for that. Zack Snyder, Joe Rogan. A lot of you are misrepresenting or even misquoting Zack Snyder on his somewhat recent appearance on Joe Rogan. During this appearance, Zack Snyder, who I consider to be one of the top 5, maybe even top 3 filmmakers that we have today, I put Michael Bay as the number 1. I absolutely love Michael Bay movies. Now, keep in mind, I say a lot of this in the context of enjoying a movie. Now, there's movies and there's films and there's cinema and there's filmmakers and auteurs, and we can kind of all argue about all of that in a nice little verbal boxing match. But I love Zack Snyder movies. I love Sucker Punch. I love Watchmen. I watch these movies on a regular basis. I believe Zack Snyder, on a narrative sense and his vision on adapting, should be taken of note. And that's a lot of what we do here. I take a note and I bring it to you guys. So during this appearance, he laments the idea that someone brings to him this idea. The Dark Knight, Batman, the guy we like, Bruce Wayne, he doesn't kill. And he pretty much, he's thinking out loud, right? Like, they're having a conversation. And he goes, well, if you tell me that, I'm going to want him to kill someone. I'm going to want him to be driven to the point of killing someone. I'm going to want him kill someone, because from Zack Snyder's perspective, that's interesting. And he is the guy that's behind the wheel, and he can make those creative calls and creative decisions. There's a lot of you out there that's with all of this too. You're confused that there's like some type of arbiter. There's some type of there should be like a czar at Warner Brothers DC of sorts. I would say that czar should be Jim Lee, but we don't know what Jim Lee does for work anymore. We don't know what Jim Lee does. I'm sorry. But you guys feel like there should be a czar that says, I'm going to sit down with Zack Snyder and I'm going to make sure he uses our character correctly. And I want to say at one time that czar was self-policing. But since then, we are in an age of superhero deconstruction. We're never going to get out of it. We're never going to get back to Monster of the Month or Monster of the Week, monthly superhero, disposable entertainment type action. Okay, that's what everything that we love about the comic book industry, character, so on and so forth, was built on. After when we get into the age of deconstruction, and even today, which we can really kind of say postmodern, where so many things are meta and self-aware, like an arbiter of what these characters can do and can't do, they kind of, it's all up for grabs. And a lot of times, if you're running a $200 million movie, there's these contracts are fantastic, and the way how the film industry works is fascinating. That's why we're all obsessed with it. Come on, you're obsessed with those as much as me. But within these contracts, there's a lot of control for the creative side. So when a lot of people say, a movie by committee, this and that, there's phases that the film moves through in production, and it might reach what you would kind of call the gatekeepers, and the gatekeepers can make calls because they're trying to return some type of buck on their investment. Zack Snyder navigates all of this masterfully. Meaning through his film career. But getting to the point, The Dark Knight, Batman, we were obsessed with this idea that he doesn't kill, but yet throughout all of his media, he kills. That's a fact. All right, you can't even argue that. So I wanted to introduce you guys to, Son of the Demon. So this is one of my original books left over from, we'll call it the collection or comic book library 1.0 that I threw into a dumpster, by the way. But this is the original one I had when I was younger. Going through it now, I don't know how my parents let me even have this. I think this is way too mature for a child, but I basically grew up reading this, Batman, The Cult, and Dark Knight Returns. Those were my Batmans. Now, I knew The Cult folded into Batman. I knew that wasn't a what-if story. I knew this was a what-if story. And I knew The Dark Knight Returns clearly was a what-if story, or Elseworlds if you're coming from the realm of DC. Because, you just read that and you're in the future. But what later happened with this book was it got retconned, just like The Killing Joke. Because The Killing Joke, in my opinion, still should not be continuity, because he kills the Joker at the end of that. It later becomes continuity. Son of the Demon later becomes continuity. I think it's silly, it's stupid. I think rolling this into the mythology of the Dark Knight, or what we would say Earth Prime Dark Knight, post-crisis of Infinity Earth's Dark Knight, it's silly. But whatever. The comic book gods have struck against me. They have motives I do not understand. So this later became continuity. And I just want to show off a couple of these early pages in here, because I grew up thinking the Dark Knight could kill, and then later when I saw, Batman 1989 and the Joker, we offed the Joker in that movie, I was fine with it. And then we get the Batman Returns, and he's there blowing people up and doing all kinds of crazy Dark Knight stuff. Because from my perspective, the Dark Knight was aggressive, analytical, but he was also unforgiving. This aspect of the character, I just feel like is completely lost right now. And if we put pressure on the idea that he cannot cross the line, then what we put him up against can only be so limited. It does limit what you can do within the story. If the Dark Knight can and is willing to cross the line, we can play with it, and there's so much more you can do. That's the point that Zack Snyder was making, and that's a lot of the point that you guys are misrepresenting throughout all of social media. Let's hit the drawing table. I want to show off what I'm talking about. Alright, here we go. AKAPAD. Yeah, so just to show this off, I butchered the sketchbook last night. So I was live last night, and I'm trying to figure out, how to, I don't know. Part of the problem was I didn't have a vision what I wanted this to look like. But it's supposed to be Eric Bischoff from the NWO. I thought, and I did this maybe a year or two ago. But I thought warming up with this, using these guys, these Uniballs, this was priming me to know the materials, and it wasn't, because in a way, I'm not really drawing with this. I'm just doing cross-hatching, and we can kind of see where some of the lines break up. I thought, too naive, didn't prep. But as soon as I was done, I got right back into it, and we're here's the NWO sketchbook now. And we have Eric Bischoff right here. So we're just going to make this a traditional sketchbook. This render sketchbook is amazing. And look, it's used with all media. That's why I bought it. And I kind of forgot why I bought this. The spray paint is huge. So we get Son of the Demon. This is where we get Damian Wayne from, Mike W. Barr, Jerry Bingham. Jerry Bingham is one of the absolute most unsung heroes in comic book illustration. We get this amazing. So I used to stare at these covers when I was younger because I couldn't fathom how any of this could be done by a human hand. And we get, we get some fantastic stuff here. This one, look, he punches this dude out here, nukes him with the bat fist. We nuke a satellite right here. That satellite gets nuked. And then, look, he doesn't kill the guy, but he taunts him with a Q. That's part of the story. We get really nice, the illustrations in here, the coloring. It is absolutely top-notch. But let's just get to the beginning. And this right here, if you're into any of the merchandise from Batman 1989, this was an image used in t-shirts and posters, stickers, buttons. This got repeated like you wouldn't, you can't even comprehend how prevalent and ready this image was in 89. So, and I'm not going to bring you through the story, but we get the Ra's al Ghul coming up. And we get like all of this stuff happening. Batman's in a warehouse somewhere, Middle East, throws down a canister. We get the smoke. We get Dark Knight doing Dark Knight things. He takes out a room full of people. Like, does any of this look familiar? And then, this dude rips his, rips a couple of... just takes aim, takes fire at the Dark Knight. You don't do that. This guy is now across the world fighting crime and evil, and you're just going to upset him. So he dodges it, the oil, hot oil, and it melts the guy's face, and there's like no remorse. And you can say, well, that's not direct. Well, I gotcha. Let me one up you. We have a helicopter here, and the Dark Knight jumps on the helicopter. Have you guys seen Batman Forever? Right? Batman Forever. This movie. The greatest Batmobile of all time. Same beginning. But over here, we go back and forth, we go back and forth, we go back and forth, and, helicopter gets nuked, and Jim Gordon doesn't even care. So I made a mistake, because it's been a while since I read this. He's not in the Middle East, he's in Gotham. And I guess, right here, we have the bat signal going up. So, hey guys, I guess I don't know everything, but this was my introduction to the Dark Knight at one time. I mean, he's killed a helicopter full of people, let some dude's face melt off here, look at that. That seems like it's out of RoboCop. And I'm sure if we went on here, there's might be other deaths, but we will detail this at one time. I just wanted to share that. I grew up with this guy making strategic decisions against evil. What's wrong with that?